Hello and welcome to episode 76 of the Gamewave Podcast. My name's Joe and I do have a very special guest co-host with me for this episode, James from CalmDownKidder.
Hi, thank you very much for having me on. I'm excited to be here. I'm a long-time listener of the podcast, so it's nice to be on. I think I've been on before as an interview, as a simple.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I'm happy to co-host. So if you don't know about me, my name's James, aka CalmDownKidder. I've been putting on chip shows in Liverpool since 2007. I also had a record net label, CalmDownKidder Records. That's kind of defunct now, but there's still some good releases on there. And I'm currently putting on online shows, the Chipfest Cyberspace, on twitch.tv/CalmDownKidder. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. We'll talk about that in a bit though.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about the stream you've got coming up, Chipfest Cyberspace 4, and playing some music from each of the artists that are going to be performing. Yeah, I guess, we kind of met, didn't we, at, I think for the first time, was it when I came to the show in Liverpool when Harley played with 10,000 Free Men?
Possibly,
right?
that was probably fairly an early time, but I think I've been to the chiptune show. I don't know, did you put it on in the Corporation in Sheffield when it was the Chiptune Lions tour? Wow. Yeah, I went to that, but I don't know if we probably didn't talk to each other then, but I think Chipfest was the first time we probably spoke to each other. It was nice of you to come along. So it's always good to sort of speak to people, especially if you know them online and stuff. It's always fun to meet in person.
And then you've been coming to the more recent Steel City Chiptune ones as well, haven't you? And filming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've filmed pretty much all the sets. I've edited a few of them, and they're online at the moment on my YouTube channel. So that's it again. Yeah, youtube.com/CalmDownKidder. There's currently a BitShifter one and a Pampadoo one. But the rest are all sort of in the process of being edited and uploaded and that. But I've got a full-time job and stuff, so it's hard to just get settled down and edit a video. But they are sort of being worked on, and they'll hopefully.
What is actually your full-time job, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know. Have we ever spoke about that?
I work at a university doing IT support, so that's my job at the moment. It's obviously working from home because of everything that's happened in 2020, which I guess we're going to speak about in a bit. So that's just what I'm doing as now. But because I am working from home, it helps a lot with being able to set up the Chipfest Cyberspace shows, because obviously you can't really edit videos in the office. But when you're working from home, you can do. But don't tell them I did that.
They're listening, actually. Your boss is a long-time listener of the Gamewave Podcast.
Oh dear.
So you're just surrounded by computers then, aren't you? Basically, in your job and
pretty much. Well. Surrounded by computers and annoyed customers who want stuff getting fixed there and then. So it's a lot of talking on the phone, emails and that. It's pays the bills and that. So, but it's slightly less fun than chiptune shows for sure.
Yeah, by the way, that first track you heard was from the brand new album, the hotly anticipated album from xyce, absolute legends of the chip scene with their Amiga styles, obviously always very melodic, very catchy, and absolutely nothing has changed on this latest release. It's called Vue, V-U-E. Obviously you can get that on their Bandcamp, and you can buy the CD version as well if you're still into those things. And that track was called Rosée. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
It's hard to go wrong with xyce, isn't it? There are two top fellas. I've seen them quite a few times live now. Very high energy, always enjoyable, and they've always been super keen to play shows. Because a few of the past shows I've done have been Halloween editions where I get the acts to play a cover set of a particular band. They've always been more than happy to do that. So they did a Backstreet Boys set the first time they played, which was amazing. And then they did Genesis on Genesis afterwards, because you can't not miss up something like that. But obviously Genesis on Mega Drive in the UK. which doesn't have quite the same ring to it. But no, yeah, top lads, and I always look forward to anything they release. It's always a day one listen, day one buy.
Yeah, definitely. So head on over to their Bandcamp, xyce, you spell that xyce.bandcamp.com, and stream or download or buy the CD. And coming up next, we have a couple of tracks. The first one is from Kris, and have you had a chance to listen to this one yet?
I'm afraid to say I haven't. I am a big fan of Kris. I did do a radio show back in the day, and he actually provided the backing music for it. So I'm always a big fan of Kris. But yeah, I'm very sorry, Kris. I've not listened to this one yet, but I am looking forward to it, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this one's called Recentered, and he put a bit of a blurb up with it and posted a bit about it on Twitter or on social media. And I think he was a bit apprehensive to release this one because it's not full chip, as you'll hear. There's definitely still chip elements in there, but I think he was almost apologetic, but I don't think he needs to be, because it's one that I'm going to keep coming back to, I can tell. Yeah, just a unique mix of more modern synth sounds and almost synthwave feel in parts. But yeah, it's really great to see, and I'm going to look forward to properly getting stuck into this album. But the track we're going to play now is called Parks, so check it out. Okay, you just heard 2 tracks in a row. The first one was indeed Parks by Kris from his latest album Recentered. Definitely worth checking out. And then the second one was from our good friend Gesceap, aka Nathan, and he's got a new EP out on his Bandcamp called the Sonic Desert EP, and that was the first track from it, Addict Substitute. What did you think of that one?
That's the first. I just realised that's the first time I've heard his name pronounced. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. Gesceap, was it?
Yeah, well, we had an interview with him a while back, and he went into the meaning behind the name and the pronunciation. Apparently, it's an old English name.
Oh, right, okay.
Because he's very into his linguistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was kind of like Gesceap, but yeah, okay. No, I like both those tracks. They're great. Sort of very post chiptune, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a term, but
why not?
Maybe it can be. Certainly, like, yeah, you can definitely see sort of the influences of chiptune in there. I know, like, Gesceap still uses Nano Loop on the Game Boy and the mobile phone as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, both cracker tracks for sure.
Yeah, very good. Well, we thought in this section we'd have a quick chat just about 2020 as a concept and how it's panning out for us all and how it's perhaps affected the chip scene and what's going on right now. How has your 2020 been? Have you been coping? Have you enjoyed it? Have you hated it?
I mean, yeah, it's been mostly grim, as maybe it is for a lot of people. But I don't know, there's certainly been good parts of it as well. Yeah. Like, I've switched to working from home for the time being. We're not sure when we're going back. It could be as early as next month. It could be next year. But that's all still up in the air at the moment. But yeah, certainly just the fact that you can get up and roll out of bed and go into work is quite nice. But I don't know if I'd want to do it all the time. I don't know. But from like a chiptune point of view, I think it's kind of really helped. It's kind of thriving a bit because there's a lot of people doing streaming shows at the moment. Like, you know, myself included. Obviously, we're going to talk about Chip for Cyberspace in a bit. But I'll talk about like all the other shows as well. So it's been like a sort of fairly new collective called A Bit of Chiptune, and there's like a sort of small crew of people. I know like Cass Cuttlefish, Cyanide Dancing, they're involved. There's a few others as well. Sorry, I've not mentioned everyone's names. They've done a recent set of shows. They're stopped for now, but I believe they're working on some stuff anyway. They did like a series of shows called Infinite Lives, and that was all like a sort of set theme of chip acts. Like they did like heavy hitters, so like, you know, sort of more heavy dancey ones, and they did like chill vibes. So like all the shows kind of had a theme, which was kind of nice, and like they obviously like made like the posters in tune with the themes and stuff like that. So it was like a really nice sort of audio-visual experience from everyone involved. And like there's some regular shows, like there's a weekly show from the Micro Music Italy crew, the Micro Music Italy Sunday Jam. So that's every Sunday. And they get like 3 or 4 different acts each week, like usually all really different from all around the world, and that's kind of great to see because it's I think there's no really solid theme, and in that case they just kind of put on, you know, do you want to play, or, you know, they get asked or whatever. I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, that's Zero, Quattro, and Damon Chip. They're the organisers of that, so like they sort of chat in between the acts and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the chip scene, more than most other music scenes, has really been well prepared for this to like put on the best streams possible. Obviously,
definitely.
I've watched quite a few. I was there for your last one. You know, just watching, I don't know, the streams from the metal scene. They're just at the end of the day, that's generally just a band playing. But these chip streams, they're completely like audio and visual. There's a lot of effort goes into them. And like that Corset Law one from your last stream, it just completely, like, it was kind of like esoteric occult visuals, weren't there, like along with the music, and it completely kind of elevated the performance.
That was Foci and Loci, I believe, who did the visuals. I think I know it's Glowmag, Kris, he's one of the visualists, and I believe there's a second one. I'm very sorry, I don't know their name off the top of my head, but yeah, like that, you know, that again, that was like a very good sort of audiovisual show, as you say. It's completely different. Like, you know, you wouldn't be able to do that in a real life show, I guess. I mean, you still got, you know, you can still do visuals, you can still do audio, but it's obviously combining them to do something completely different. Like, some of the acts have done, like, you know, their own like sort of cartoons before a show. Some acts have, like, you know, got a visualist. Like, some of the streams I've seen, it got a VJ Floppy in her name. She's from France, and like her visuals, she does like live coding on the stream, and then you see the visuals and the coding at the same time, and it's just like incredible. And you know, stuff like that, it's really sort of interesting. And you know, as I said before, only just scratching the surface. You know, what else could we do?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like there's never been so many chiptune events, really, because chiptune has suffered in the last few years. There's been relatively few, you know, gigs, hasn't there? But these streams, they just seem to be happening all the time, and it's great. It's almost like injected a new energy into the scene, which perhaps it was missing before lockdown and all that.
You know, certain places have gone, and I think that's kind of breathed a lot of life in, because a lot of people were saying, you know, they weren't like a big fan of those particular places, and now that they're gone, you know, there's kind of room for other people to grow, like a bit of chiptune. They've got like a fairly active Discord community, and it's, you know, it's nice to just hang out and then just chat with people, and it feels like, you know, for a lot of the older heads as well, it's like a new lease of life.
Yeah.
With regards to that, because I mean, but like obviously it's upset a lot of people as well, which is fair enough, because you know, if that was your community and then it's gone, it's a little bit you know, hard to deal with that. But I don't know, I feel like it's a positive thing, especially in the long term. You know, hopefully we you know, don't need places like that anymore. You know, I think decentralizing stuff is always a good idea. You know, trying to get off the walled gardens of Facebook and Twitter and everything. Like, I'm not a big fan of Facebook anymore, but yeah, I do still post on Twitter quite a bit.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, it's hard to get people going to singular websites and stuff, but you know, maybe that's more of the future, like trying to set up something that's away from all that, but you know, like it's got a community rather than one person in charge.
Yeah.
So you know, if anything goes wrong, you know, there's obviously multiple people who can try and deal with it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, that's very early days with regards to all that. You know, hopefully there is going to be room for it, you know, bigger chiptune community to, you know, grow and thrive and help each other out, because you know, there's no point in being rivals in the scene that's this small.
Yeah.
It's easier to collaborate and to work with each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Superbite wouldn't have been, the Superbite Festival in Manchester wouldn't have been done without me and, you know, Adrian, who was doing the Megabyte shows beforehand. And you know, there's no point being rivals, even, you know what I mean? So it's always better to collaborate, for sure.
Totally. Yeah. So I guess the kind of summary, the conclusion is that while 2020 has been shit in a lot of aspects, I think, yeah, for the chip scene, it really has been in general a good thing, almost. You could say. Yeah,
definitely. Like, I do miss live shows for sure, and you know, I don't know if anything can completely replace that. You know, hopefully we can go back to a scenario where live shows are possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the online shows, I don't think they're going away, especially not in chiptune.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's too fun not to, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Well, let's get back to some music, and we've had a track submitted by one of our listeners. We've played him before on the show. He's got a very interesting, unique style. This is a guy called Clank, and the blurb for this release, which you can find at Aloft Clank, so aloftclank.bandcamp.com. It says, a selection of music by Brian Bennett taken from Casio and cassette recordings he made in the 1980s. So this is kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of going back in time, 30 or so years. And yeah, see what you think. It's, again, kind of synth-wavy, this one. But yeah, I like it, so check it out. So you just heard 2 tracks there. The first one was, as we mentioned, by Clank, called Casioette, the SW20 mix. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Like, it's a very, I mean, it was made in the 80s, but it is very much like that sort of 80s synth that it's hard to not like, really. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm definitely gonna listen to a lot of his stuff for sure. He's got quite a few bits on his Bandcamp there, so definitely I like chip adjacent, which I think is always worth pursuing as well for sure.
Yeah, and then the second track was from the Australian legend Little Scale, and that track was called Come Back to Me, and that brings us on to talking about your next stream, Chipfest Cyberspace 4.
That's right, yeah. So Saturday the 29th of August, so this upcoming Saturday, unless you're listening to it after the stream, then in that case it should be on twitch.tv/CalmDownKidder in the video on demand bit, and I'll put it on YouTube as well at some point. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a fantastic night. We've got 5 different acts, and it's Dachampster, Don't Blink or You'll Die, fluXxin, Sky Pope, and of course who we just played, Little Scale. Try to go for like a varied mix of acts all across the world. So we've got 3 continents there. Sorry, yeah. So that's always, you can't really do that at a normal IRL chip show. So you can sometimes, but you can do that on a regular online. So that's great to see. And like it's on my Twitter and stuff. But the poster was made by Nada as well. And that's an amazing poster. I really like it. It's a load of aliens just chilling, watching Chipfest. So hopefully they'll be tuning in as well. So this is the 4th Chipfest Cyberspace I've done. But I've just been kind of put off doing shows for a while. Like, you put on shows yourself. It's very stressful. If people don't show up, you just get depressed afterwards and stuff. So I was kind of put off shows for a while. Not really sort of bothered. Still going to shows and that. But then, obviously this all happened, COVID happened and everything, we were all working from home, and because I was just inspired by, the other shows as well, like a bit of chiptune. What they were doing was, all their shows, you can donate, and 50% of the money went to the artists, and 50% of the money went to charity as well. So I think, it's kind of, obviously artists deserve to get paid, and this seemed like a good sort of compromise, because obviously I think people do want to donate and stuff like that, but it's almost, you're more likely to donate if, you're thinking, some of it goes to charity, so that's sound. So I just, I just copied that basically off them, so that was, inspired by them anyway. I'm not pretending like I invented that. 50%, so this Chipfest stream as well, 50% of the money that donated goes to the artist and 50% goes to charity as well. We've done a few different charities at the moment. I think it's still to be confirmed, but we'll discuss that, and that charity will be announced on the stream as well.
When I watched the last one, 3, I was honestly surprised at the amounts people were chucking in the pot. I think Twitch really encourages people to donate a lot of money somehow, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And the software that you use, they have little features where you can change, what happens when you donate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can you can make a custom GIF to appear when you donate and things like that. So I think people do like that. It's nice to see your name appear on stream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an incentive almost. You can't bring up a telly program and your donation will come up on the stream.
Yeah.
Maybe BBC Children and need to think of that. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens next, because people love to see it. It's their name on screen, and that's pretty cool. And again, all the money goes to charity and the artist, so it's selfless but also selfish, because you get to enjoy the donation and get to bask with your name on the screen as well.
I dare say the artists, especially in the chip scene, with these streams, are getting paid more than they've ever been paid for shows.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's true. Yeah, I mean, I always do try and pay the artists, and they certainly get food and stuff like that sorted. But if only 30-40 people show up to a show, it's just not that much money, between the artists and all that. Whereas the streams, I think this last stream I did, it was like 120 people were watching at the peak. And I think, and most of them are commenting as well, having a good time in the chat. So, it certainly recreates that fun of a chiptune show, getting to chat to your mates, because realistically that's, half the fun of the shows is, chat to people you haven't seen in a while, hang out. Part of Chipfest, it was always the post-Chipfest kebab party, where we just go to the chippy afterwards and order, some food for everyone. So obviously,
which you do recreate, don't you?
I do recreate, yeah. So after the shows as well, I normally do a CalmDownKidder's kebab shop DJ set. So like I played songs in between acts and stuff, and at the end as well, like I just play a load of songs. Normally like chiptune adjacent music. And like you can just set up like a little background and stuff like that. So it's a kebab shop. So yeah, people get to tune in and pretend to take an order and all that. So I do encourage people to order a kebab for after the show, and then they can recreate it. Maybe that's the future at what's that, mukbang, where people watch other people eating food. Yeah. Maybe chiptune mukbang is the future.
Do you want to introduce the next two tracks we've got from the artist performing on Saturday?
Yes, I do. First of all, we're gonna play Dachampster. And this is a track called Captain Voltage, and that's featuring Donutshoes and DYA. And then following that, it's Don't Blink or You'll Die with Our Turn.
Welcome back. That's a very, very high energy track, as per usual, from Don't Blink or You'll Die. I think formerly known as D-Boy. I think he's officially changed his artist name to Don't Blink or You'll Die now. And that was his track, Our Turn, from his EP, Battle Jazz Classics, which we were just discussing there in the break. I'd say a modern classic of the chip genre. Really good release, that. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just everything about it's great. Like, even the name, Battle Jazz Classics, like, I don't know, I feel like straight away you're like, ooh, I want to listen to that. What's Battle Jazz? That sounds great. And it's very, like, I don't know, I don't, it's not remotely jazz, but, like, very battle, I guess. But yeah, like, certainly make sure it's, like, very mosh-friendly chip music, which I'm all for. And I think you're all for as well.
Yeah, I think he describes his own music as like pop punk chiptune or something like that. I'm sure I've read that. And yeah, I can definitely see that. He's definitely got that kind of energy and that kind of melodic sensibility to it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like pop punk's almost like an insult to his music, because
yeah.
I mean, I don't mind pop punk, but no, like, yeah, big fan of D-Boy. Very Don't Blink or You'll Die. Very excited to have him perform next week.
Yeah. Awesome. And so you've got your Twitch channel, which I guess is mainly set up for these streams, but you've also been streaming your gaming habits as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a few streams, like nothing sort of too formal at the moment. It's just kind of, you know, if I'm playing a game, I just think like, oh yeah, go ahead, I'll stream it. I'm still thinking, like, you know, what to do with the channel, because you know, Twitch is obviously primarily used for, you know, people playing video games and their reactions and their sort of, you know, guide throughs and stuff like that. Like, you know, some people are like professional gamers, so, you know, you're watching them because they're good at the game and you want to either improve your skills, or sometimes it's just nice to watch people who are good at something do something. Like snooker. Like, I'm not like a big fan of snooker, but when I start watching it, it's like, oh yeah, I quite like this actually, and I'll get into it for a bit. So like, I think I've always been, for a while I was kind of a bit unsure about Twitch and didn't quite get it. I was like, why do people want to watch people play games? But I've started to do it a bit more now. Like, the comedian Limmy, is a Scottish comedian. He's like done shows on BBC. He started to stream and he's doing it full time now. And I started to watch him, and it's like, I get it now, because it's like you're sort of watching Limmy because it's him. You know, he's very funny, he's very entertaining. He's not like the best at video games, I think he'll be the first to admit. So you're just kind of watching it for his like personality almost in a way. And I think, like, you know, some Twitch streamers are like that as well. They're popular because, you know, people like them, people are rooting for them, and I feel like that's a big part of Twitch as well. It's like, you know, the whole the like personality side of it as well as the gaming side. And obviously I think, you know, Twitch is, I assume, you know, skyrocketed since lockdown, because people don't have anything to do, so you know, watching Twitch seems like a no-brainer. And I think, like, they're trying to push it now as well. Like, I'm getting emails from Twitch about like gigs happening, like, you know, legit pop stars are doing gigs on Twitch now. Right. So obviously maybe that's worrying for the underground music scene, I don't know. But it's certainly fun in the meantime to sort of, you know, loads of people are doing Twitch. I think some people are doing like YouTube streams as well. I know Cubby, he does a few YouTube streams of sets every now and then. But yeah, like, I feel like, yeah, the online streaming thing is definitely in its infancy. You know, we're just seeing the rise of it now. And you know, the potential for it to go other places is incredible. Like, there's this guy who, like, I watched because of Limmy. It's called Zafar Cakes, and so what he does is he plays Pro Evolution Soccer 5, which I think is like Xbox 360 or PS3 era. But basically he's turned it into like a soap opera almost. Like, you know, he plays the manager. He doesn't play the game. He auto plays it, so he's not involved in that sense. But he watches the team play, and because he's the manager, like, he reacts to the team. Like, you know, if they don't play well, he'll shout at them and stuff. He'll give halftime talks. You know, they'll do like post-match conferences and stuff like that. And it's just like a completely fairly unique idea. Like, you know, he's turned this game, like, not a particularly amazing football game, but he's turned it into like just this cult Like, yeah, like soap opera. It's funny, like it's not like dramatic soap opera. Like it's it's very much comedy and funny, and he improvs it all the time. Like I think he's invited comedian friends of his to do some stuff alongside him, and they do like as well as football, they do like wild stuff. Like they did a séance the other week involving some of the footballers, like just chatting and stuff, and it's just like stuff like that. It's it's very unique. It's very I think like I'm not particularly bothered about seeing people play video games all the time, but something like that, it kind of just like really turns it on its side, and it's a really interesting take on something like that. And I feel like that's the future, isn't it, of these types of things.
Even things like OnlyFans or Patreon or even Bandcamp, they've just completely made this possibility for people to make quite a decent living from while just being in their bedroom, just putting stuff out on the internet, their own content, and people are getting rich off this stuff. And it is like you say, it's the dawning of a new era, really. People are really willing to support all these things if you've got talent and you're entertaining. Yeah,
absolutely. I think like it's kind of tough because I guess the hardest thing is getting established in the first place, but I guess like that's just kind of like, I mean, I hate to be like using these terms, but like that's the hustle of it. I guess you've got to just you've got to do that work and stuff like that. Like obviously people like Limmy have had the advantage of they've had a BBC show, so he's already got that audience sort of built in almost. But he that wouldn't last too long if he was crap, and nobody enjoyed his streams. Ultimately you tune in for the gimmick of it being Limmy, but then if he wasn't any good, you just wouldn't watch. And I think like as you say, like stuff like Patreon, people can go, well, I don't want to like buy the TV license because most of the BBC is rubbish, whereas I like this one person, I want to support them, I'll give them money directly.
Yeah, definitely a world of possibilities if you've got the imagination and the creativity for it. Which reminds me, a long-time listener of the podcast, Bart's been emailing me last week actually. He switched me onto this channel a Twitch channel called Forgotten VCR, and that's some guy who makes these random mixtapes of like Japanese pro wrestling and anime, and then just random TV shows. I think he makes them on VHS and then he streams them over Twitch, and there's all sorts. But let's get back to the music. You've got 2 tracks, haven't you, from the final 2 artists on your stream? Yeah, so the final 2 acts I've sort of chosen for this podcast,
we've got fluXxin with his track Call to Arms. fluXxin's like sort of old school Nana Loop, big house music, heavy beats, dank bass and all that, always a cracker of a show. I saw him play like a dance music show in Liverpool, the Zanzibar, rest in peace, which is gone now. And like he did a set. It was like it wasn't a chiptune show, it was an electronic show. He did a set. Everyone was like loving it. Everyone was going mad for it. But it was only afterwards that people were like, "What did he use to make that?" Then he was talking to a few people, and they were like, "You did that on Game Boys? Are you messing?" And it was really nice to see that because I feel like a lot of chiptune, people who don't like video games would probably like a lot of chiptune, especially people who like electronic stuff. But it's almost like you're put off by the fact that it's made on video game hardware. So it was great to see like a set like that, where it didn't get mentioned. It wasn't like, this guy makes music on Game Boys. It was just, this is fluXxin, he's sick. And people loved it. And then it blew the mind afterwards. So, hopefully people will watch him and enjoy that. And as well as fluXxin, the track afterwards is Sky Pope, another Nana Loop, act who's amazing. And it's Sky Pope's world we're living in, basically. That second track's going to be Poo Brain, Shallow House Mix.
This is an older one, isn't it?
Sky Pope's not released anything for a while, but hopefully we'll see some new stuff soon and during this set as well.
Yeah, wicked. All right, well, let's get to these 2 tracks now then. Right, you just heard 2 tracks in a row. The first one was Call to Arms by fluXxin, and the second one was Pooh Brain, Shallow House Mix by Scotland's very own Sky Pope. Both will be performing along with Don't Blink or You'll Die, Dachampster and Little Scale at Chipfest Cyberspace 4, and you can view that this Saturday at Twitch. What is it? Twitch.tv/CalmDownKidder.
That's correct, yes.
Yes.
So that'll start at 7 p.m. UK time, and normally we have the first act on at like 7:30, so it'll just be me chatting crap for half an hour. So if you like that, yeah, tune in at 7.
And will you be doing the dabs for every, what was it, for every pound donated?
Yeah, well, I think because of the website, it was dollars, so yeah, £1 for every, well, a dab for every dollar dabs. I think dollar dabs probably is better. So yeah, at the last show, a few people ended up donating over $100 in one go, which was obviously incredible because, you know, that's for charity and for the artists. But then I had to do 100 dabs on stream, so yeah, you know, I take requests, like I'll do most reasonable things on camera if you donate, and you know, as long as it's not too illegal or too, you know, it's going to put people off watching the show. Yeah, you know, send me some ideas, but again, only if you donate. I'm not doing it for free.
Yeah, I mean, to listeners of the Gamewave podcast who perhaps haven't tuned into a stream, or I don't know, have tuned into a few before, I just can't recommend it enough. You know, if you're into chiptune, just enjoying the music and enjoying the chat, it's it really is like a lot of fun. So yeah, maybe give it a go if you got some spare time on Saturday night.
And also, it's free to watch. You don't have to pay in advance or anything like that. Most like smartphones have Twitch apps. Most smart tellies have like Twitch apps. I think the Amazon Fire Sticks, the Roku sticks, and all that. Pretty much, you know, any modern device will likely have a Twitch app. Or obviously, you can play it on your PC or laptop as well. And yeah, it's free to watch. You don't need to register or anything. But if you do want to chat in the comments, then you will need to register an account. But that's free as well. And also, if you got Amazon Prime, you can sync up your Amazon Prime account and your Twitch account, and you can give a streamer some money once a month at no extra cost to yourself. So I'd highly recommend you doing that if you've got Amazon Prime and giving that money to me. Or you know, another fellow streamer. I'm not going to judge, but give it to me.
And you run an Instagram account, don't you, where you do post about all the upcoming chiptune shows and I guess streams?
I do, yes. So that's called Chiptune Shows. No spaces on full stops or anything like that. That's Instagram.com/chiptune shows. And it's on Twitter as well, twitter.com/chiptune shows. So what I try and do is, any posters for any upcoming chiptune events, I'll post them on there, you know, try and include as much information as possible. So, like, you know, it's obviously hard to keep track of all these shows because there are so many different places people promote and all that. So if you've got one of those social media accounts, give us a follow because, yeah, I do try and post about them all the time. If you've got any shows or anything you need to send me, you can do that and I'll post it up as well. Just trying to keep, you know, have somewhere centralized to view all this stuff. Long term, I'd like to set up a website or something like that where, you know, you can just go, is this chiptune show, you know, is there a chiptune show happening soon all over the world? And then, you know, you can hopefully find out. But obviously that's like a big long-term project. But in the meantime, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, give Chiptune Shows a follow, and you'll hopefully get the information about shows there.
Yeah, great. Well, there's one happening tonight, isn't there? That, I mean, this episode is not going to be out in time to really tell anyone about that. But is it the Micro Music Italy guys?
That's right, yeah. So every Sunday, Micro Music Italy Sunday Jam. There's always it's normally 4 acts, I think, every week. They always vary it up, always loads of different acts are playing. So any Sunday, give twitch.tv/Micro Music Italy a follow, and you can turn on notifications, so you'll get notification when it's on.
Nice one. And Harley, friend of the show, Harley's playing that one in on the Micro Music Italy channel, isn't he? And I just wanted to quickly mention that squad news basically. on Pterodactyl Squad. We will be putting out his next EP. I don't think I've officially announced that anywhere, but yeah, it's going to be a 5-track EP that we've got coming out, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited for that. I think Harley's quite proud of these tunes, and we're currently in the mixing and mastering stages, so look out for that on Pterodactyl Squad coming soon.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I do feel like for a future podcast, Pterodactyl Squad News, that should have a little like sound effect.
A jingle.
You definitely need like a Squad News and then something.
Yeah. Or just a squawk, a pterodactyl squawk.
Yeah, that works as well for sure.
Yeah, I can sort that.
Decent. Yeah, and also just want to say, the compilation that you did a few releases ago, I love it. Yeah. It's really good. Like, I've been listening to it loads. Everyone involved, great tracks. Like, cause like the chiptune sort of compilation's almost a lost art, I think. They seem to be a lot more rife, back in the day, like a good few years ago. But they're kind of coming back a little bit. I think maybe because the more idea of community and stuff like that. Hopefully, it'll mean like little groups of people will start to do themed compilations and stuff like that. There is one actually I did want to talk about. There's a new compilation that's happening as well. It's twitter.com/continuecomp. And both of these compilations are going to be for charity, so all the profits will go to charity. So there's two that they're releasing. One's called Rebuild, which is going to reclaim the block. And then there's one called Restore, which is raising funds for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome research. There's sort of two compilations there. Chiptune or chiptune adjacent, I think is fine, whatever. But all the details are on their Twitter. So yeah, continue comp. And also a few of us are working on a Carly Rae Jepsen covers compilation. So we'll hopefully have some news about that soon. That'll hopefully be being released early next year at this point.
Okay, very good. Well, that continue one, that they're accepting submissions, aren't they?
That's right. Sorry, so, yeah. All the details are on the Twitter.
If you're an artist,
yeah,
and you fancy submitting, maybe head over and submit something. Yeah, because I remember have they released one so far? I definitely checked that out.
I believe so. Yeah. That
got a lot of attention.
Yeah. So it's always good to get involved in compilations, because I think it's a way for because if you sometimes it's hard to listen to every single new artist, every single new release, but a compilation that is going to be quality, you give that a listen and you discover loads of new acts. So it's definitely worth doing.
Right now we're going to get back into some more music, and this is definitely the heavier end of the chiptune spectrum. I kind of put these two tracks together on purpose. Might not be for everyone, to be honest. This first one is from an artist who made his debut release very recently, .exe. Have you managed to listen to any of this artist yet?
I've listened to some stuff before, but again, not this new release. Very sorry, .exe, but I'll be sure to listen to it.
Well, you'll get to listen now. I mean, I would say this one is it feels very much like it's perhaps being inspired by things like Harley likes music. It's very bassy, very heavy, quite noisy, and I really like this. And
the artwork as well is incredible. I know it's obviously the wrong medium to discuss artwork, but it's pretty gnarly. So yeah, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, have a look. You might enjoy it.
Yeah, you can head on over to .exechiptune.bandcamp.com. Of course, as usual, all the tracks and the artist names will be in the show notes if you need to refer to that. Show notes can be found via iTunes or via our website. But I digress. The second track of these two, actually, I'll discuss that when we come back in. But for now, let's listen to Dummy Jams by .exe. Okay, wow. Like I said, perhaps not to everyone's taste, that second track in particular, but honestly, this is a release which I feel needs a lot more attention. The artist in question there was Starshine, and the release is called Lion's Mane, and you can get this at starshine.bandcamp.com. That track was called Blazed in the Northern Sky, which is obviously, well, if you're not into your black metal, then it's a reference to a Dark Throne album, one of the kind of seminal black metal releases. But yeah, it's like the whole release, it's kind of bookended by a cute track at the start and at the end, which is kind of more like a dungeon synth thing. Okay. Again, another black metal technique. And then the other 11 tracks are just pure noise. I just loved it. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely like a big fan of sort of chip fresh type of stuff. I'm always excited when new stuff is happening. So yeah, thank you for pointing this one out to me. Definitely going to give this a full go as soon as I can, for sure. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to make stuff that's really heavy and also really good, like especially on someone as limited as a Game Boy. But yeah, that track definitely shows sort of like that is, you know, it's certainly possible for sure. But I feel like, yeah, you should have mixed that one with Rosé by xyce. I feel like that would have been a good a good 1-2 punch. Ease you in and then.
It should have been the first track on the show, really.
People are like, what's going on? Is this working or what?
My iPod's broken. No, I mean, I posted this on my kind of personal Facebook because, you know, most of my friends, they're not into chiptune, but I just put chiptune black metal and it got a really good response. And yeah, like you say, this is done really well. It is very easy to do things like this poorly. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this has got like there's an artistry to it, definitely. The artist definitely knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, because I know like you're a big fan of Nintendo Core, and there is like a lot of bad Nintendo Core type stuff out there.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. I mean, this isn't the same as Nintendo Core. This is more just like, yeah, straight up chip music, black metal, as you say. But yeah, it's definitely nice to hear like heavier stuff because, like, I am a fan of dance music as well. But you know, my sort of first loves were in the kind of, you know, hardcore punk music. So it's definitely good to see stuff that's like influenced by that area of music, rather than like, you know, more dancey stuff. But you know, again, I love all of it. But yeah, no, that is a top track for sure.
Yeah, we are coming towards the end of this show, episode 76. Have you had fun? Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you very much for inviting me. I've not done anything for a while because I did do a radio show like years and years ago, but not done anything really since. So it's been fantastic to kind of get back into something like this, and hopefully, see you on a future show maybe.
Yeah, definitely. No, we've been talking about it for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, as usual, you can find me on Twitter if you want to give us a follow. It's at Joe Gamewave, and you are at CalmDownKidder, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, which I know we've got a lot of American listeners. Maybe you might want to just quickly explain what that means.
You're right. Okay, so there was a TV show, a comedy show in the 90s called Harry Enfield and Chums, and it was like a sketch show where he did loads of different characters, and one of the characters was the Scousers, which was a very offensive stereotype of people from Liverpool from the 1980s. They all wore tracksuits, they all had like permed hair and moustaches, and it was all like, hey, calm down. So like CalmDownKidder kind of came from that, because I'm from Liverpool. I did really enjoy the Scousers comedy sketches as well, so it just felt like a good name to have. I don't know why, like, it's not vaguely chiptune at all, but it's more Liverpool, and you know, I did put on shows in Liverpool. Hopefully we'll do soon. So yeah, it's Calm, CALM, down, DOWN, and Kidder, KIDDER. It's probably that last one that's probably the hardest, but yeah, CalmDownKidder, from Harry Enfield.
Yeah, very good. And yeah, you can find our Facebook page at facebook.com/Gamewave Podcast. Give us a like on there as well. And also, as usual, we'd really appreciate any reviews on iTunes. That'd be great.
And if you want to talk about how good the new host is, that would be really appreciated as well.
Yeah, and we're going to finish off this episode with a track from KKB, Kero Kero Bonito. Am I right in thinking you know these guys like quite well, don't you?
Yeah, I put them on a show in Liverpool before. Like the great sort of musicians. But I'm very excited for this track because the sort of last album was kind of like a departure of sound from the first album. Like I really like the Bonito Generation album. And like this is sort of the last album was like a big departure from that, which I still enjoyed it, but like I don't know, I felt like that sort of OG Kero Kero Bonito sound still had lots of mileage left. So I was hoping that like they would come back to it at some point, or at least like, you know, go sort of similar in that style. And this new track is definitely in that sort of old school KKB era. So I am very excited for Bugsnax. And I don't know if the game's going to have more Kero Kero Bonito songs, but if the case, yeah, I'm very excited regardless.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It does feel like they're kind of returning to their roots a bit with this just kind of more fun, playful sound, because I think the last album, if you were to describe it, it was more like just rock, like garage rock almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, sort of a really big departure from the original sound. Like, I guess, like, you know, bands want to change and they want to try new stuff, which is, you know, it's obviously fair enough.
Yeah, so Bugsnax, am I right in thinking that's a PlayStation game that's coming out?
I believe so, yeah. I think it's on the new console, the PS5, which I guess is coming out soon. I think it wasn't obvious, they didn't announce it in advance or anything like that, so I think when people were watching the PS5 stream, I wasn't watching it myself, but like I saw on Twitter people going, "Is that Kero Kero Bonito? Oh my god!" Like people going wild about it. So, you know, quickly I had to listen, and it was like, "Oh yeah, this is new Kero Kero Bonito." So I believe they're doing some more tracks. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, but certainly this track's like a cracker, and hopefully there'll be some new stuff as well.
Yeah, wicked. So this one's called It's Bugsnax. Again, you can stream it at their Bandcamp, kerokerobonito.bandcamp.com, and I guess, fingers crossed, as it's going to be part of this game, there'll hopefully be more from KKB. So, yeah, thanks again for listening. Thanks to James for jumping in the co-host seat for this one. Make sure you tune in for Chipfest Cyberspace 4 next weekend. I'll certainly be there. We'll see you all next time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
I seems impossible till you've seen a sandwich climb a wall.